Good morning, YouTube. I apologize if the audio quality is not like my other videos. I am currently using an Android device. I'm going to be moving to Android for my videos moving forward. Apple, the camera's okay, but it just doesn't have the same features. The biggest thing I don't currently like about the Apple is I can't do this. And that is pause the video and just stop recording and move around and redo sets. For whatever reason, Apple makes you get an app, and even the apps don't work very well, so I'm going to go to Android for that. And I just currently do not have the microphone at the moment, so I am waiting on that microphone, but until I get that microphone, there's still some stuff I want to record. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And also what's nice about these Androids is I can do some basic editing, cutting and pasting directly from the phone itself without having to actually upload any software to the computer first and then go back and forth. Alright, so now the reason for the video. Alright, so this is the repair in question. We have a car in today with a water leak. And as you can see by just the video, this is a lot of times what we have to deal with as mechanics and technicians in the field. Cars that are just very tasty. Alright, so we have tons of sitting water back there. There you go. Trust me, doesn't smell too fresh either. So currently what we have going on, sorry about the shaky camera work, is we're trying to pull the carpets up. Seat doesn't move. The seat itself, you can see that transmission or the seat rails are totally rusted together. I did originally pull off more than I needed to, so I pulled off the side of the seat, and you can actually unclip these seat pads pretty easily. Once you get that side off, the seat foam is just held in with a little C-channel groove right in there, and it just C-channels in right there. So it comes off fairly quick. So I pulled that off to try to get access to the seat motor wiring, so the actual wires that come off the seat module. Did it that way, and I was able to get access to the wires, which I have pulled out right down over there for power probing. In hindsight, I didn't have to do that to remove these seats when they were getting stuck, and that's the whole point of this video. Is currently all I had to do was remove the front two pivot bolts. So these are just pivot bolts there and there. You sit in these little linkages right there. The bolt looks like this, so make sure you replace the Loctite on there. It's a red Loctite. And with that out, now I have access to this lower rail motor. So I'm going to be messing with this for the next bit of the video. Or you might come back and it's going to be removed, and I'm just, once again, one step at a time. So first step, if you do have a stuck seat, and this is an E90, before you go on trying to remove all that stuff out of your way, pull off the front pivot points, which are right there. Tilt your whole seat back, get access to this transmission, and now I'm going to see if I can get it to move with my power probe. And if that's not successful, then I will remove it and then see if I can get it to manually slide back and forth. Alright, so I am back. So currently I have the camera set up on a tripod. 2 drills into the actual seat. So what ended up being defective is that seat motor on the lower portion. So I removed this entire guy right over there. It's held in with 2 bolts, 2 here, 2 on the backside. With those removed, you have to reinstall the bolts that came out right back in there and right in there. That holds the sled to the rail, or the inside portion of the moving sled to the rail. So those need to go back in. They're not tight all the way, just enough to hold it together. And now with this out, you can do this with 1 drill. It just takes a bit more time. So as you can see, I just have it marked right there, so I knew where I started. And same thing right over there. We can see where we started. One rotates one direction, 1 drill will rotate the other direction. And done right. About level. Okay. All right, so this is where we're at now. There should be, do I need to go forward more? Yep, still have to come forward more in order to even get to these back bolts. But you get the idea, so I'm going to move this whole sled forward. The camera's going to have to be out of the way. I'm going to have to tilt the seat back down. So right now this seat does tilt like this, as you can see. That's just because the front pivots are out of the way. And I'll be able to get the back seat bolts out. So it is a bit of a process to get it out. Overall time invested, not too much time. I did set overnight. The seat rails have been sitting in rust penetrant once again because they've basically been rusted solid. That motor has failed on that lower seat sled and will need to be replaced. So now you know how to do it. It's actually just a total of 6 fasteners you need to take off. There is this fastener right over here. This is the pivot fastener, which bolts right there. The 2 on the front, so 2 there. And then these 2 on the seat rail motors. Pull that mechanism out, and then you have access to these cables, and you can just run them in manually. Hopefully this helps. If anybody runs across a situation, they'll have an idea as to what they need to do. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.